Hi, I don't know how to start this video off, but I'm gonna get straight to the point. Today, I want to try something different on my YouTube channel. I haven't really done any kind of challenge-related videos, so I thought, why not give it a shot? Because I've seen a lot of people do it, and I've been inspired by them, like Big Boy What, Abraham Sandwich, and that's just the name of two people. I know there's only two people, but there's a lot more that I've watched and I'm subscribed to that do a lot of challenge-related content. If I can find some, I'll put them on the screen and in the description. They've inspired me to try my hand at making challenge videos, see how it goes. And we're doing it on Spider-Man 2. If you didn't know, recently Spider-Man 2's New Game Plus came out, or as me recording this, it came out a few days ago. And I thought, okay, now that New Game Plus has come out, I kind of want to have a go at the challenge scene. So my challenge today is, can you beat Marvel Spider-Man 2 without dying and healing? So basically the goal is I can't press the heal button, so I can't heal at all during my game, and if I die, I have to go restart a checkpoint. The original goal was to, if I die, I restart the entire game, like the Batman Arkham Origins I Am the Night mode, but I didn't want to do that and save my soul from crumbling. I said I'm just going to restart checkpoints, and maybe one day I'll do that kind of similar thing, but I ain't got strength for it right now. And yeah, when I tell my story of my playthrough, there will be some inconsistencies with the story, obviously, and I will skip parts that I seem unnecessary to add, just so you know, so you don't think, oh, where's that part? He didn't mention that part, because it was literally unnecessary, and there's no point of me adding it to the story. And I want to save you time, and I won't have you see me walking as MJ or playing as young Peter or something like that. It just ruins the pacing of the video. But yeah, I hope you all do enjoy. If you do, then please leave a like and subscribe. It'd be much appreciated. And without further ado, let's get around into Spider-Man challenge video. First, we see Peter and Miles doing some inappropriate things on a roof, as they see Sandman doing his sandy things, and you see them suit up and leave their clothes, which people will not interpret as something weird later on. But as they fight Sandman, it turns out he's too sandy, and throwing things at him isn't gonna work. So Peter has the sensible option of going into his nose and hoping it's just gonna destroy him. And Sandman does not like that, and he throws him across the building. We then enter the first fight of the game, where I basically take these guys out with no problem. Since I am on New Game Plus with all my abilities, they do not stand a chance against me, the real Spider-Man. But soon after, the real Spider-Man gets jumped by Sandman and gets thrown to the bottom of the building. But now it's time for Miles to try and show that he's not doing nothing while Peter is fighting Sandman. And his first course of action is to create a big hole in Sandman's chest. Yeah, that's definitely going to sting later on. But Sandman did not like that and says, you know what, I'm going to throw you across New York. As we enter Miles' first fight of the game, it goes exactly the same way Peter's went. Very easy, since we're basically fully upgraded and they don't stand a chance against the second real Spider-Man. All Spider-Man. As you see, I see they're both Spider-Man, so I don't really care. I think Miles is also Spider-Man. People who say he's not don't even know anything. But right after, we get our first death of the game. Yes, I'm an idiot and tried to rush and ended up paying for it. But I locked in right after that death and defeated Sandman with only one death on the counter. Hopefully it stays like that. While the Sandman fight was cool and all, still had to save people who were affected by the fight, which Peter does in some few saving people. You know, Spider-Man does that thing, which people forget about. Which leads to more one-sided fights, because since I have the symbiote in this part, they don't stand a chance against me. I'm too powerful. Same goes with Miles. I can just blow them up in one electric blast. That's it, they're done. Skipping a few things, Harry returns, and we get to skip a boring, long flashback scene. But right off the flashback, Miles and Peter have to help escort Scorpion and Mr. Negative as they are attacked by hunters. They are trying to get a hold of Scorpion and Mr. Negative, but just saying no, we ain't gonna let that happen. And with the symbiote, Peter just wrecks these guys, bro. Like, there's no chance. There's no problems I had here. I just wrecked their asses. Shoot him already! But right after, Miles has to go deep into the ship to free a trapped guard, but ends up meeting Scorpion. And Scorpion sends him on a little trip, because Miles starts tripping the out. Like, bro started seeing mad shit.
You tripping, bro. You tripping.
But then he gets blown up. After Miles awakens, Kraven appears with his trusty green sniper rifle, and he says, you know what, I want to hit a trick shot today. After Miles sees The trick shot, he gets pretty annoyed and wants to get Lee back, but Kraven says nuh-uh and takes Lee away, which leads to a pretty wholesome scene between Miles and Peter.
Come on. You're too much, man.
But right after Miles decides to help his teacher, where I end up breaking the game. And right after the fight went basically the same as most of the other fights, I'd wrecked them, there's some no chance against me. And on my way back to PV, Miles decides to do his best at a Warlock impression. And skipping through another Peter walk section, we end up finding where the hunters are staying.
Oh, is that your home?
Which ends up being in a really old, abandoned, creepy place. And with the power of stealth, we just power through it like nothing. We then get the big reveal that Kraven is actually trying to 1v1 these villains, which leads to a 1v1 with Scorpion that does not end well for Scorpion.
Imagine my disappointment.
And while Peter's looking at the 1v1 list, he finds out that Black Cat is on that list, which obviously he does not like. And he gets Miles to follow up on it, where he meets Black Cat, and god damn, too bad she's taken. Otherwise, I'll be up in her DMs.
Are you serious, my brother?
I'm sorry, that was so cringe. I'm so sorry. And most of the fights with Black Cat go basically the same, because now we have Black Cat and her power to be a cat really helps us here. She then pulls over to Paris, and that is the last we see of Felicia. And some quick depression later, we catch up with Peter as he's at Coney Island, playing games and, you know, doing these things where he should be trying to find Kraven. But Peter's lucky as Kraven actually finds him, but not to 1v1 Peter, but to 1v1 Tombstone. And most of the fights here go the same until Peter tries to stop a roller coaster, but doesn't stop it. And this is where we get the reveal of Harry's powers and the symbiote. And after finding out he has these powers, Harry becomes the one and only Agent Venom. We love Agent Venom here. And with the power of friendship, Peter and Harry make their way through the space to save Tombstone.
We'll use the power of friendship.
And while Harry's fighting some of Kraven's men, Kraven says, let me put on team kill for 2 seconds. And we eventually save Tombstone, which he's very thankful for. He should be. We just risked our lives for him. And right after, Harry decides to steal my Fortnite emblem, which Peter is surprisingly happy about. And while that was going on, MJ surprisingly gets herself kidnapped. Because obviously MJ can't go a game without getting herself kidnapped and doing a stealth mission. And I don't mind the MJ missions in Spider-Man 2, but I'm going to skip them for obvious reasons. Then Kraven finally injects Dr. Connors with the lizard serum, which obviously turns him into lizard.
What the fuck wrong with you?
But sadly the run ends when Peter gets United Kingdom. But with the power of friendship, the symbiote gets off Harry and goes onto Peter. And we absolutely demolished them. They stood literally no chance because I am Peter Parker. But without the symbiote, Harry dies, so we have to find a way to give it back to him. So we need to find Kraven, but the symbiote has other plans. It actually wants to look dapper instead, putting on a tux for Peter, which is pretty cool. But that coolness does not last forever as we get thrown out of a window. As we fight our way through this little hideout, Peter notices someone camping and throws him out a window. After some light posing later, we actually start a mini-boss. That shield guy that threw us at the window is a mini-boss, and to be honest, he was not that difficult. I knocked him out pretty quickly. We then see Kraven's best Batman impression.
It's the freaking man!
But the impression made Peter cringe, so he just took the first exit out of there. While this is going on, Miles is currently just doing some spinning with Mysterio. And one cool symbiote transformation later, the hunters eventually do find Peter and Harry, and Peter decides to blow him up. Peter then meets a FNAF OC.
Hi, I'm Freddy Fazbear.
It's terrifying, we do not like this.
I'm fresh out of honey.
The FNAF OC obviously did not like me talking about his problems, so we take our rage out on him. After defeating him, we take the first exit and leave. The symbiote apparently also gave Peter levitating abilities. After the sliding, we do find Lizard and he's tweaking out.
You have no idea.
And these hunters are obviously no match for us as we are Spider-Man. But Peter thought it'd be funny to jump scare Miles in the middle of his stealth section.
No, 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 no.
But this also starts the lizard chase scene, which I am going to skip for this video because it's just pretty long and unnecessary because it goes on for like, what, 5-10 minutes? So we're just going to skip straight to the boss fight. The boss fight went pretty well. The first phase went by without a hitch. The lizard could not stop me. I'm Spider-Man. Same thing goes for phase 2. Phase 2 went by without any problems. Lizard just really wasn't that powerful. When I first played this game, he was whooping my ass, but for some reason on auto difficulty, I must have mastered the ability to dodge him. But phase 3 of the lizard boss fight did prove to be challenging. I did really die, but they did use the symbiote ability to save me. You may say, oh, but doesn't that count as healing? No, because I did not press the down on the D-pad to heal. I pressed the symbiote ability, which is not counting as healing. I do not count that as healing myself. Peter then proceeds to drop kick the lizard. The symbiote then decides to copy the spectacular Spider-Man TV show and control Peter while he's asleep. Which also leads into another MJ section, which I also skip. Then Peter decides to do his best Resident Evil 7 impression. Plus, Miles also gets captured by Kraven, which also then leads into the Mr. Negative boss fight. And phase 1 of the boss fight goes as you would expect. I basically kicked Martin Lee's ass. He had no way of stopping me. But phase 2 annoyed me because I went through the entire fight and just at the end I died. Right at the end. Like, what? And then when I spawned in, I died again. But I locked in and defeated the phase 2 after two deaths, which I still can't believe how I died in those deaths because they were so easy to avoid. Miles then trips out for a second time.
You tripping, bro. You tripping.
Miles then decides to recreate Finn's death scene. And after Martin Lee, we get into the Kraven boss fight. And phase 1 of the Kraven boss fight goes as you'd expect, as most phase 1s have gone by so far. I don't lose. But in phase 2, Kraven decided to snipe me, which ended up being my demise. But obviously we defeated Kraven because he's just no chance against Symbiote Spider-Man. This then leads into my favorite boss fight of the game, Miles versus Peter. I remember when this first happened, I was like, oh, I knew it was going to happen. I had a feeling they were going to do this because something they can't not do, because this was like something they had to do in this game. Miles versus Peter seems so like likely. But obviously phase 1 went by really quickly. I then got sniped by Peter in phase 2. But after that death, I decided to clutch up and beat phase 2 and 3 unscathed. Peter then decides to do his best Tobey Maguire impression.
It's funny you should say that, because I was looking through some old photos and it looks very, similar.
We then go and return the symbiote, but obviously Harry is going to die without it. So he makes a commotion and breaks the symbiote pod.
Do you want me to die?
Which unleashes the beast known as Venom. No, not Sony's other Venom, which I actually like, but people are very mixed on that Venom. So this is now a different Venom. We then play as Venom, which also did surprise me when I first played this when it came out. But skipping all of the non-essential Oscorp Tower Venom scenes, we're going to go straight into the Kraven vs Venom boss fight. Which, since this scene you're playing as Venom, who is not usually a playable character in the game, the Kraven boss fight against him isn't that difficult. So since it's supposed to be easy, I go through both phases of the Kraven boss fight without issues. Basically nothing interesting happened.
Go anywhere in the city, preying on innocent people, and we will find you and eat both your arms and then both of your legs, and then we will eat your face right off your head. Do you understand? On second thought.
After this, we get introduced to the symbiote enemy types, which are basically just punching sponges. Like, they are the most annoyingest enemies in the game, I think. But they're not hard to deal with. They're just annoying. Really, really annoying. We then go and save Rio and Genki from a subway station that was turned venomized by Harry. And this is where I deviate from the main story for a bit. I decide to go and fight Wraith. I don't talk about her storyline that much because I'm only talking about the boss fight, which happens in, I think, the third flame mission, where you fight Wraith. And being a side story boss, she went down basically without a fight. So yeah, both phases, she did not stand a chance against me. And for Miles, we fight Mysterio, who also, since I was pretty late into the game, he stood no chance against me either. So both phases for the Mysterio boss fight, because the first phase you're just fighting enemies, and in the second and third phase you fight Mysterio, who basically was no problem. He did not really do much. He was pretty simple.
MJ, where's... Harry.
Pete? You look tense.
We then get one of the best quotes in the game, in my opinion. I do not care what any of you say.
We are.
He then proceeds to take MJ and turn her into Scream, which leads straight into the Scream boss fight. Phase 1 of the Scream boss fight went by normally. She didn't really stand a chance. And also, like most other enemies, she's invulnerable to webs, like Peter was. So it is a bit annoying. But we do end up passing it. But like tradition, phase 2, I die. Again, I think every phase 2 I have to die at least once. Because like, what? I then proceed to beat phase 2 and go into phase 3 where, unfortunately, I die again. But we beat phase 3 and move on to phase 4, which also actually, surprisingly, goes by without a hitch. Phase 4, I did not die once. After some light trauma dumping later,
Spider-Man, wake up!
and like the Venom Kraven boss fight, the Symbiote the Behemoth is basically a scripted boss fight, so it's not meant to be hard, it's meant to be easy. Norman then gets thrown by a big symbiote man. Miles then trips out for a third time this playthrough. Peter then gets mentally drafted by Venom. And this is where we commence the end game of the story. So this is the last mission of the game. And skipping all the MJ stuff, we're going to go straight on in to the first Venom boss fight, which you start off with Peter. And breaking tradition, I die in phase 1. Not phase 2, phase 1. After being phase 1, I proceed to die again in phase 2. But after beating phase 1 and 2 as Peter, Venom grows wings and flies on into the Miles Morales portion of this boss fight, which he has 2 phases as well to even it out. Phase 3 of the Venom boss fight with Miles actually goes by pretty well. Surprisingly, we have no deaths, so this is a big W for me, because I didn't die for the first part of the Miles fight. But phase 4 rolls around, so the last phase of the Venom boss fight, and I die again. But with my determination, I beat phase 4. Miles then gets dunked by Venom. We do some nice stunts in the air, absolutely smack the shit out of Venom.
Fight back, nigga! Fight back!
And then we proceed to kill Harry. So that is the end of the challenge run. As you can see, I didn't heal a single time, so I've counted as a W, but I did proceed to die 9 times, which caused 9 resets. Yeah, I know, it probably is doable. It more than likely is doable without dying, but knowing me, I'm really bad at the game. I'm not the best at parrying. I'm still after like months after the game's come out, I'm still getting used to parrying in this game. I'm not the best, but no, I'm getting there. But I hope you all did enjoy this type of content, this type of video. If you did, please let me know in the comment section. Give me some suggestions, some other challenge videos. Doesn't matter what game it is. It could be literally any game. Red Dead Redemption, Spider-Man PS4, Injustice, Watch Dogs, Spider-Man Morales, Cyberpunk, Resident Evil, GTA, God of War. I mean, give me anything. I will put them in a list and see which one I can do and not do. And also I want to also add on that I'm going to be doing a weird little break thing during the month of April, which should be 2 days from this video coming out, where I'm probably going to make like maybe 1 or 2 videos during April, but I'm spending most of my time probably going to making videos during April for May. So you'll probably see like 1 or 2 videos during April, maybe some shorts, but you won't see as many shorts or main videos in April, so please bear with me. But yeah, I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please leave a like, much appreciated. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out.